that green thing. So they're obviously not interested in showcasing their city. I see the pyramid.
I see it too.
That's the original home of Harold Ford Jr. back before he was trying to be a senator from New York. Second time we crossed the Mississippi today. Been on the right side, the west side of the river since we left Cairo. Now we're getting ready to go back on the east side of the river. There it is, folks. Barge out there right in the middle. Crossing into the volunteer state as we speak. High excitement. There's an old railroad bridge over there.
In 1/2 mile, take exit 12B from Riverside Drive.
That's
12B, not 12C.
12B. There's Tennessee.
Oh, no. Next right.
I'm gonna go for now and help. I really like this thing. Jacob thinks it's silly, but I wanted to record it. There's their arena.
You really want this?
We're in Memphis. No.
No.
Jacob's throwing away the rest of his key lime pie. We need a hole in the head.
Well, after the end of this.
The cars you see pass over there are going over Interstate 40. And this isn't the Mississippi itself right here. This is not the whole Mississippi anyway. This is like a little fingerlet. Yeah. Here comes the trolley train. Go ahead and let you narrate, Jacob. Where are we?
We are in the absolute middle of nowhere. We're on Dacus Lake Road, in Arkansas.
What's under your feet?
Gravel.
And how close are we to Memphis?
Oh, I don't know. It's right about there. It's scary out here. I mean, it's just desolate. It's just desolate. Had to.
There's the city, sure enough.
Yeah.
Here I am. I know you'll all wanted to see me. This is literally like being out in the middle of a cornfield hunting coons or checking oil wells or getting ready to get in your deer stand in Clay City. I've never even thought of anything like this being anywhere close to even a mid-size or small city like this. I mean, this is not just getting out into the suburbs with some fields and some retention ponds. This is desolate.
Desolate.
Arkansas. Desolate Arkansas.
Desolate Arkansas. The natural state.
The natural state. That means they don't do a damn thing with it. Well, I'll guarantee you, not many people have seen Memphis, Tennessee
Quite like this.
quite like this.
Look at this direction. Just look at how desolate it is.
I think the folks back home can see.
Right, I got my beast phone.
I mean, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere.
What are you doing?
This is Blair Witch territory.
Yeah, it is.
Here, put her in drive.
Your foot needs to be on the brake. Extremely blurry.
Well, otherwise you can't see it. It's fine. Here, I'll stop.
There's Memphis.
Stop 100%. There, how's that?
So as you can see, there's Memphis in the distance.
And then we're just in a...
See, we are just in a terrible place.
Terrible
this is the road we're on. Now look out this direction. Nothing. Just nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dangerous out here, guys.
Nutria, probably. No nutria yet.
Nope.
But we did see a possum.
We did see a possum. The poor thing, it didn't know which way to turn. We almost ran over it, but we didn't. All right, this is Jake and Levi.
What date is it?
Well, today is Monday.
Yeah, January the 18th.
January, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, 2010.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Over
That's Jacob and Levi signing off. Maybe.
Get over in the right-hand lane. We are now getting ready to travel over the bridge on I-40 into Memphis, and out in these fields, I don't know if you can see this, that's where we were last night to look at the river. I mean, we were closer, right? Because we got pretty close.
But I mean, really, our road should be like, because we were right here, our road would be paralleling this highway.
There's the pyramid. In 2001, I was supposed to come down and go to the NCAA tournament at the pyramid with my friends because Indiana State made the first round and actually made it to the second round. But I stayed home because I had more important things to do, I thought at the time. Turned out I should have gone to the ball game. Jim Shins never let me forget it. here we're getting ready to go over the bridge. That's what we were out in, folks. Not that anybody cares necessarily. And not that I'm proud of it, because it was a dumb thing to do in a strange place. Here we go over the mighty Mississippi, crossing her now for the what, 4th time?
Several times. It was pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. There is the mighty Mississippi. That once upon a time, Stephen Furlow and I were going to float down in a raft from St. Louis to New Orleans. There's Memphis. Beautiful Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, we call it.
Memphis.
Here's the bridge. I have a feeling we may be getting ready to be in Mississippi. B.B. King Highway, south part of Memphis. Don't see any welcome to Mississippi signs yet. Used to be probably a pretty good neighborhood. Now it's maybe seen some hard times. US 61, driving to Vicksburg, Mississippi, to see the battlefield. Or I guess it's not a battlefield. Well, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. It's a National Military Park is what they call it.
How turkeys gobbled, which our commissary found. How the sweet potatoes even started from the ground. While we were marching through Georgia. So we sang the chorus right led to the sea while we were marching to Georgia.
I've decided that this part of Mississippi is just about the flattest, most barren place I have ever been. Jacob says it looks a lot like Texas. I mean, you can just see for miles. It's flat, just like at home in southern Illinois. Only other than the little towns, there are no trees. It's all just farmland. So, sorry folks from Mississippi, but so far I'm not impressed. We're about 80 miles north of Vicksburg, Mississippi on US 61, which has now become a 2-lane highway, as you can see. Very exciting stuff. This is a place called Panther Burn, Mississippi. And we think this may be the Panther burning right there. It stinks. Just passed a terrible wreck on the highway. Driving past a cotton field. I don't know much about cotton. Whether they have already picked it or whether this is going to be picked, I just don't know anything about it. Surely it's already picked. I've seen some peanut farms, peanut plants, processing plants, I mean, not the biological plant. Starting to see a lot of magnolia trees. About 30 miles City. That's where Jerry Clower's from. Oh, and this is the Yazoo River.
From this position, a battery of guns, including those from the 8th Michigan Artillery commanded by Captain Samuel DeGoyer, hammered the Confederate Great Redoubt directly ahead. At one time, as many as 22 Federal artillery pieces were positioned here. Captain DeGoyer was mortally wounded while directing the fire of this battery.
All right, begin your ascent. Supposed to be one step for every day of the siege of Vicksburg. And we're supposed to pretend like each one of these is a 24-hour period. Oh, wow. These are the names of the people from Illinois. Names of privates, captains, lieutenants, all the way around. During the afternoon of May 22nd.
Union troops commanded by Brigadier General John Thayer stormed up this hill toward Confederates dug in at the top. They were stopped by geography and enemy fire. Later, Thayer's men began digging a 6-foot deep approach trench toward the southern position. His soldiers dug the tunnel beneath the road to avoid crossing the ridge, where they would be exposed to Confederate fire.
This is the paddle wheel on the USS Cairo, which was sunk December 12, 1862, and lay at the bottom of the Yazoo River until December 12, 1964, when it was raised, restored, and brought here to be toured. It was an ironclad, if you can't tell. See if you can see the engine room in there. Yeah. Great stuff. And there's the Vicksburg National Cemetery out there. The biggest burial site of Union dead in the country. Here we are inside the USS Cairo. This is the pilot house. Right here is where that would have been done. There's the front guns. Right over here is the big hole. I mean, you shouldn't be able to see that. That is where a Southern mine blew a hole in it, sunk the ship, sank in 12 minutes, but nobody died. There are the engines. More guns. And there's the museum. These are row upon row upon row of unknown Union dead. Something like 36,000 people died in this battle. and something like 3,000 were identified. The rest were buried here and remain unknown forever. Amen.
To overrun this fortification, the principal Confederate work guarding the Graveyard Road approach to Vicksburg were major factors in Grant's decision to avoid any more direct assaults.
And there was the Union over there. And here we are over here.
This is Levi. He's walking down the stairs at the beautiful Mississippi State Capitol. Hallie Barbour was just talked about on the news. Got a big state budget crisis here. It's real bad. But we're happy to be.
Alright, Jacob. Explain to us why this place is significant. What is it? Why is it important?
This is the old state capital of Mississippi. And what is important about this building is that treasonists, traitors met in that building and attempted secession from the United States of America, but thankfully we were able to defeat the traitors and bring the state back into its rightful place in the Union.
Amen.
Amen. Other than it was built before the Civil War, I don't have any.
What is this?
This is the Jackson City Hall. It was built before the Civil War, one of the very few structures remaining here in Jackson, Mississippi from before the Civil War. It was spared by General Sherman because it was at one time it was an army hospital.
But the legend is that it was because it was built by Masons and Sherman was a Mason. Statue of Old Hickory himself, Andrew Jackson. And here is the fountain that is not flowing because of course it's January. But this is really kind of neat. For the record, it's about 8 p.m. on Tuesday, January the 19th, 2010. 1 year ago right now, we were eating with Aaron and Becky and talking about what time we were going to get up and how we were going to get to the inauguration the next day. Exciting times. Here we are in New Orleans. There's the Mississippi River. Very foggy on this January 20th, 2010. 1 year to the day after President Obama's inauguration. And we're gonna go walk along the riverfront, aren't we, dear? Here we are in Jackson Square Park, or Jackson Park, in the French Quarter. And there's the cathedral, the oldest cathedral still in use in the United States. I don't know if you can tell, but it is very foggy and damp today.
Oh, I don't need anything. I got a $5. I'm not a fan.
Easy mark.
I think I have the same one. I don't have the brand new one. I want the older one that had it. I don't know. What's your gigabytes today? Oh no, I have the 16. But it's like the second version. For Are you videotaping?
How are you videoing?
Now, what are you pouring there?
This is the actual absinthe that gets poured in the glass first over a sugar cube. And then that gives the sugar a little bit of fuel so we can light it on fire. We're not going to burn off any of the alcohol in the glass. We're just burning the sugar cube. Absinthe drip cocktail. Now there's going to be a natural chemical reaction that takes place. That's the purpose of the light, to kind of so you can see that a little easier. The swirls are going to start to form in the glass. They're kind of kicking up. There's sugar going down in there as well, but the swirls are the oils from the herbs being released, since this is an herb distilled liquor. And that's kind of how the drink got its nickname, the Green Fairies. They thought those swirls kind of resembled angel or fairy wings. They didn't have anything to do with hallucinations. But the chemical reaction is called lushing, and that's from the oils of the herbs in the cold water trying to melt. No, actually, there's a lot of, there's never any narcotics or hallucinogens distilled in absinthe. It's an herb distilled liquor. The primary herb, wormwood, is toxic, but only in high doses.
So is that why they made it illegal?
Well, that's to say, there was a huge misconception about the wormwood. They thought that the wormwood was the culprit as far as absinthe madness and death. In all reality, what people were drinking were cheap bathtub-style gin versions of an absinthe that didn't have the same natural attributes, such as the color coming from the chlorophyll in the herbs, and of course the chemical reaction that I was discussing. And in order to recreate it, what they did was add copper sulfates to the mix. And once again, a lack of knowledge at that time, they didn't realize that it was going to be poisonous. So people's brains were rotting, so they're hallucinating and going mad from that, dying of mental poisoning, renal failure, all around nasty business. But another thing they didn't factor in as far as people hallucinating or having euphoric experiences for consuming absinthe was the fact that people used to lace their cocktails with something called laudanum. And that was kind of the cure-all of that era, liquid form of opium. It's very similar to morphine. And so now you're adding an opiate to something upwards of 150 proof. Definitely gonna enhance your drinking experience greatly, I would imagine. But because it was something prescribed medicinally, really didn't think there was any harm in it. But just happens it became fashionable, as it often does today. Society figures out it's more fun to use recreationally than medicinally. And so laudanum was kind of like the Dilaudid of its time, or Xanax, or any of those things. But yeah, there were definitely a lot of misconceptions due to a lack of knowledge. It's also thought too, now, I mean, when you see somebody drunk on the street or whatever, we know that they're not crazy or hallucinating. But at that time, even a lack of knowledge about alcoholism contributed to a lot of misconceptions. One of the side effects to alcoholism is hallucinations. So with alcoholism being rampant in this country, then probably worse than now. I don't know the exact stats on it, but it was pretty bad. That was another thing that wasn't factored in.
I didn't get one. Version of black liquor.
Here, hold on, Jacob.
Well, I'm gonna wait until I figure it all kind of.
I'm buying around. Yeah. Sure you don't want anything?
No, I don't.
But any Any
No, I'm good.
Would you like an ice water?
Water, soda, anything? It's my idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody get absent minded. Alright, and one winches can start.
What do you like? What do you think?
Yeah, it's like.
Now remember, Maria bought it for you.
It tastes like Easter morning.
Easter morning?
Yeah, you get the black jelly beans.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, good lord.
Wow.
Okay.
Catfish. I think he just sucked his eyes out through his ass. All right, this one has to go like this. Not going out yet.
Was that the tail?
Yeah.
That way you don't have to peel it.
Right.
That peeling can get on your nerves.
Done. Got it? We're good.
Excellent.
Don't try to talk when you're sucking.
There's Jacob, waiting for me in the fog. Here we are, our last night in New Orleans. Down right on the riverfront, there you can see is the Mississippi River. Across you can see the other side of the river. And there's the bridge. And if you can't tell, it is extremely foggy. The French Quarter, I told Jacob, reminds me of London in like Jack the Ripper time. Even though I haven't been to London or to Jack the Ripper time, it seems like what it would have been like from what I've read. The fog is just moving at an incredible speed. There's one of the river boats. Here we are in the Garden District on Sunday. I'm done with my conference. We're getting ready to leave town. Jacob says he's over it. I think he needs to have something to eat for lunch. Still in the Garden District under, I don't know, are these palms? I smell roses very fragrantly.
Clackamas County, Louisiana, going over a bridge, and we can see over the levee here, and I think that that is in some way connected to the Gulf of Mexico out there. We're in Bayou country right now.